Hey, it's Cody Canuck here, fuck, with Monkey Knuckles. Today we're going to talk about how to fucking properly wear your monkey knuckles. Some of you might know them as brass knuckles. However, these are made of carbon fiber. If you go to monkeyknuckles.ca, they have a legal page there, which assures you that they are legal in Canada. Let's begin. First off, here's how not to wear them. Some people wear them like this. Do not wear them like this. Also, you got spikes on this, so you're gonna fuck your hand up. Okay, here's the second way that you should not wear the monkey knuckles. This is probably one of the most logical ways that you would think because you punch this way, right? But there's nothing supporting the monkey knuckles here when you punch this way, and you're definitely gonna hurt yourself. Now here's how you properly wear the monkey knuckles. You're gonna create support through your arm, so you have something to punch into, just like when you're punching like this, you have support through your arm. And you're gonna have to punch a little differently, but I assure you, with little force, you're gonna create maximal fucking damage. Lastly, I wanna make a point that you should never hit someone with these monkey knuckles. They can cause serious life-altering damage. And while owning these is perfectly legal in Canada, it is not legal to hit somebody with them. Let's go fuck some watermelons up. Take it easy.
Welcome back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today, the podcast is brought to you by Omega Performance. I just fucked that up. It's brought to you by Omega Performance. They have some of the greatest supplements that you can buy on the internet. So check them out. Go to my link tree, hit Omega Performance. The promo code will be auto-generated in there. They have got a ton of stuff on there. They got sexual enhancement stuff like Cialis or Viagra. They have Kratom, which seems to be a thing that people like these days. I have yet to try it. I have a big bag of it upstairs. I'm going to try it, but I'm kind of scared at the same time. So if anybody out there has any experience with Kratom, please hit me up and tell me what it was like. Guys, it's Omega Performance in the link tree. Promo code's auto-generated. My guest today has turned into one of my favorite people to talk to on this show, even though I've only had him on here once, but I enjoy his company. He's very well spoken, very smart man, and a fantastic boxer. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Brewer. How's it going, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm fantastic, man, and I'm glad that I could get you back on because we were going to do this a few weeks ago, but some shit came up, a fight fell through, and we decided to reschedule for a later date when we had some good news to talk about that we could tell people on here where they can see you live.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Couple of reschedules, opponents falling out and whatnot, but I think March 19th at the Hamilton Convention Center, we are finally ready to go. So I'm excited for that. Back
in Ontario, do we have an opponent we can talk about?
Yeah, we do. Antonio Nap. I can't really pronounce this. I don't want to butcher it, but Antonio Napolitano, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So forgive me if I got it wrong, but tough guy, very athletic, very strong, very explosive. I think he's 26, 27 years old, undefeated. And good puncher and very strong guy. So it should be a good fight.
How do you feel he's going to stack up with you once we get into maybe the middle rounds?
everybody's got a puncher's chance,
Yeah.
you know. But I think like what he's good at. He's fast. He's explosive. He's athletic and he's strong. I'm all those things, but just a little bit more. So yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good test for both of us. But I've been waiting a long time, and this is a good opportunity for me to kind of catapult myself into the world rankings of the WBC. And there's not a person that's going to take that away from me. So it's going to be hell for him that night.
We have a title on the line on that night, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The WBC USNB, or it's essentially the WBC North American title. So whoever wins that, I believe, they get put into the top 15 of the top 15 in the world with the WBC.
So with a victory in this fight, which I have no doubt that that's going to happen, where do you see that this fight's going to catapult you to? Are we going to see you back on DAZN, or are we going to see you in a larger promotion, or are we going to stick with Three Lions?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Three Lions can be along for the ride. I think, like it all depends on scheduling and opportunities that present themselves after this. I wouldn't mind defending it once, maybe, but at the same time, too, if the right opportunity comes up, that's on, I'm not sure, like DAZN or ESPN or, even PBC. We'll weigh other options and see what the details are. And because, I mean, my plan is to get back on TV, back on DAZN or one of those network stations and win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play your opponent for a couple minutes. And when Brandon Brewer comes across my desk, I see an older guy who's got a good record with a loss on it on a big show. To me, as playing that gentleman, this is a no-brainer fight for me to take.
It's a good opportunity for him. I mean, it's a very good opportunity. I'm a good name to kind of knock off. He can grab a belt at the same time, and really, he has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And coming as a guy that's undefeated, he doesn't know what it's like to lose in the pros yet. He's getting a bigger name in Canada on arguably probably the second biggest show or the third biggest show in Canada. While he'd be right behind Eye of the Tiger and Groupie Von Michel right now, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So great opportunity for that young gentleman to try to put a notch in his belt, and a good opportunity for you to knock off a young buck that's trying to work his way up the ladder and put your name in that top 15.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Antonio is I would say one of the prospects in Canada that has the most potential. As far as an athlete, I think he's got a lot of talent. The question is how much, how dedicated and how much does he want it moving forward? Before after this fight, he's a talented guy. So it's a good opportunity for him to get in there and mix it up with one of the best in Canada, and we'll see March 19th.
I feel like it's going to be a great night for you because you got a fellow Maritimer on the card that'll be opening for you in Ryan Rizicki.
Yeah, I'm excited. Ryan and I guess it was Valentine's Day Massacre when we last fought. I mean, it seems like forever ago, but Ryan and I are good friends. Great training partners, and it's always fun to be around them, whether we're fighting on the same card or we're supporting each other in camp or, even on the phone. So I'm excited to fight alongside another East Coast guy.
He attributes you a lot for his success in boxing up to this point and getting him into the sport. So it's got to feel good when you see a guy getting out there that you kind of push to get into the pros, and he's fighting for world titles and doing the damn thing and making a name for himself.
Absolutely. I mean, I've known Ryan for quite a few years now, and we've we're very similar yet the exact opposite. The way we fight sometimes, and we've always said that if you could take everything that Ryan was good at and everything that I was good at and put it into one fighter, then that would be one tough guy to beat.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at this point. Ryan was up training last week, and so come March 19th, you're going to see us both side by side, and you're going to see a little bit of Brandon Brewer in Ryan and a little bit of Ryan in Brandon Brewer. So it'll be exciting for everybody.
I'm disappointed it's not in your area, though. I would have liked it to have been in Cape Breton or Miramichi or something like that. That would have been fun, but you got to take what you can get, I guess, nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the protocol is going to be for March 19th. Like, I don't know what Ontario is going to do with their restrictions. Hopefully, there'll be fans there.
I think they talk about phases and whatnot, and I think by then everything's supposed to be dropped.
Okay.
So I think it's supposed to be full capacity and good to go. So,
oh, man, the full capacity arena is way different than nobody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you fought with no fans in the stands to this point?
In a boxing ring, no.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't think. Well, I mean, I guess I fought in Mexico, but there was probably about 100 people there.
That's better than none.
Better than none. You could hear the punches a little crisper, a little cleaner, but there were still some fans there.
So I watched the fight with no fans with Ryan and Sly, and it was weird you could hear everything they were doing.
Yeah, which is kind of scary because when you can hear Ryan's punches, that they're all the hype.
Well, you hear each guy hooting and hollering and moaning and groaning, and you hear the corner over here cussing something in French, and then it's pure wildness because it's a different game at that point. You almost have to talk in code.
Well, that's the thing. Like I always say that. Like we were sparring there the other week, and one of the guys is coaching one of the guys that I'm sparring with, and he's saying, "Oh, do this," and I'm like, "Don't you do it," because I can hear that shit too. So so it's kind of a psychological game at that point. Do you do it? Do you use it as a feint? Do you wait? Do you pause and then do it? Who knows? So it is a little bit more of a mind game at that point.
I remember the boxing gym and the different clubs would come in for sparring night, and we'd have our corner over here and their corner over there, but there's no fans screaming. So I'd be in there sparring with the guy and oh yeah, throw 1-2 uppercut. Like, don't do it. Throw something else. Don't anything other than that, but don't throw it because I know it's coming. Right? It's a different
Throw
world.
later.
Yeah. Like, mask it with something. Do something else. But I'll give the guys credit. They did what their coach told them to, and they got mollywopped.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
is what it is. So sparring up to this point, have you been doing much?
Yeah, it's been as much as I can here on the East Coast. I was lucky enough to have Ryan up last week, and we got lots of rounds in. And I'm going to Moncton this week to spar with some of the Crandall University guys. There's some talented guys down there. What is it? The Bahamas national champ, but I can never remember. But anyways, a national champ from one of those countries, and a few really talented amateurs. And I might go to Halifax. I might go to Ontario. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I wouldn't mind heading to Guelph and finishing up camp with Ryan, Stevie Bailey, and the boys there.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I always enjoyed sparring with the amateur guys, especially the active amateur guys. They bring a different element to the game where they kind of train for go, 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 go. And they're not exactly used to 3-minute rounds and anything past 4. But the first few rounds are hard because they just go.
They're busy. And, and it's like, I mean, they're still so used to that scoring point where you gotta throw to, where you got red button, blue button, where it's just like you gotta throw, gotta throw. And when you get two or three, four of them in a session where you're getting a fresh guy every other round, it's like, man, these guys are just not stopping. So it's good. It's good for preparation and for constant pressure. That's for sure.
I liked it because I found none of their punches ever came in with any heat on them. It was always 30%, and you could kind of work on things a little more than when you go with a pro guy who's going to throw a 2 at 30% and then try to hammer you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. A little bit more intense sometimes.
Yeah, and then when you get going with the pro guys later on in camp, it gets it gets heated.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I could see you and Ryan having some fun rounds though.
Ryan and I worked good together. We've got quite a few rounds. I remember the first time we sparred, and he was still an amateur at that point. I had maybe about 7 or 8 fights. Actually, no, maybe 10 or 11. But I didn't know him, and he didn't. We knew who each other were, but we had never met. And oh man, it was wild. It was wild. Because I mean, he at that point, Ryan, he was a banger. Not to say he's not now, but he's evolving so well with defense and just slickness, and he's so much. His IQ is so much higher than what people would give it credit for, but he was trying to take my head off, and in my defense, I was trying to take his head off too, because it was like, who is this guy? And and we've always worked really well together. And I mean, last week we got a couple sessions in, and we're not trying to take each other's head off, but we're certainly keeping each other honest and busy. It's busy, so it's good. It's really, really fun.
I'm pushing 40 years old now, so I'm kind of from the old school where sparring was a real fight. There was no there.
Yeah.
You jump in there and you're going, and the guy across the ring's one of your buddies, but we're gonna get in a fist fight now, and then that's sparring.
Yeah. It's that's the thing, and it's hard to kind of control that ego sometimes, because I mean, competitive, you're both getting ready for fights, you're not supposed to back down. But when it's just you guys in the gym, just the two of you, and you don't have any coaches to kind of pull the dogs back when they want to go, it's up to us to kind of work with each other, and but we do that well. I mean, Ryan and I know, when our hard rounds are supposed to be, who they're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, like I've left the fight in the gym before, and not performed as well. So I've made that mistake, and so yeah, I mean, we work good technically, but I am looking forward to maybe getting a little bit harder rounds too, where the boys are trying to take my head off, and I'm trying to take their head off a little bit too. So
I always like to get swatted a couple times just to know that I can still take it.
Yeah,
you get nervous in the fight game, right? Because all it takes is one wrong one, and it's over.
Yeah, I get that with Ryan.
I would guess so. That guy hits like a Mack truck.
Oh yeah. It's fun. It really is, and I mean, it is. It's a lot of fun. I try to do his stuff to him, and he tries to do my stuff to me, and some works, some doesn't. Some, like, I know the moves that he's trying to do to me, because a lot of them is my moves, and vice versa. So it's a big mind game. It's a constant mind game with Ryan and I. We don't mess around. We'll do 15 rounds, 30-second breaks, and it's busy.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's really good constructive sparring, and we both take a lot from it.
So the last time we spoke, we were supposed to do the show, but we ended up having about an hour and a half conversation anyway. One that we probably couldn't have recorded and aired, but there's a couple cool things that we pulled out of that conversation, and that was kind of marketing your persona. who you are as a person and what you want to represent.
Yeah, yeah.
And you like the lumberjack thing, you like the red and black, and I really, really want to see those damn shorts this fight.
I don't have them this fight. I tell you, I had fights made. Or sorry, I had shorts made for the original fight that was supposed to happen
Okay.
three shows ago, and that have the lab integrated training on them. So,
Yeah.
so I gotta rock those. But I'm with you. That conversation certainly is definitely stored, and you might end up seeing me in a kilt with a red and black kilt. You never know. So
That would make me so happy.
be good for TV.
It's not just that, I think it's you.
Yeah, would be the first time we wore kilt.
Hey, I don't think that time you wore a kilt, I don't think it's going to be the last either. Because
No.
if I got to call my guy at USG Howie and get that damn thing made myself, I will.
Well, as long as they're not too flashy, as long as they're not too shiny,
No,
because it can't.
I want like the classic plaid, even like almost. I don't want flannel because it's too friggin' hot, but
It is.
something that would be able to look the same but not so heavy.
Well, Howie does some good stuff, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that he could pull something up. I mean, the USG stuff it's nice stuff. It's really nice stuff, and he does all kinds of different designs. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he can pull something together.
I like his stuff the best because if you want your sponsors on your shorts, they're printed right into the fabric, so there's no putting on vinyl patches or sewing patches on. There's no extra weight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't think and it won't when you wash them it won't run.
No, there's
Yeah.
none of that. I like the no extra weight because you see some guys they could look like a friggin' NASCAR going in there, and they go from having a pair of shorts that weighs 2 ounces to weighing
Yeah.
a full on pound.
I think Howie even doesn't he put the string on the inside too.
Yeah, there's no string on the outside; it's all on the inside. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I got to call him and get him to make, I'm actually going to call him when I get off the podcast with you and have him do a mock up of a red and black kilt that would be shorts,
Yeah, I'm
and
down.
we'll do something. Tell me about because you said the lab integrated training.
Hmm.
That's yours, right?
Yeah.
So I remember we talked about you're going to have online classes or like an online app kind of thing that you could. Where are we in that process?
Yeah, it's available.
Okay.
We yeah, it's you essentially get all your workouts on. We're a coach on the Train Pro platform. So eventually we might what do they call it, white label, but I'm not sure. But yeah, you get 5 workouts a week it's integrated training. So some workouts are strength training, some are plyometrics, some are cardio based, some are agility based, and it's for each exercise. If you don't know what the name of the exercise is, then it gives you a quick video tutorial on what the exercise is and shows you how to do it. But it also gives you an option to input all your data.
Yep.
So at the end of your workout, it gives you all your analytics on how much you've lifted, how many reps it took you, and even prompts you at the beginning of your workout. How did you sleep last night? How was your water intake? And so it just kind of creates that accountability.
Yep.
And with analytics, it gives you the ability to track all your progress, so you can see your momentum and your progress as you go. Yeah.
So how is that going for you so far? You got people signed up?
Yeah, it's good. It is. We're starting to kind of do. We want to start doing like some boot camps. I said essentially like for some people like summer shred programs. So it would just be like a 6-week kind of program that could kind of get people to kind of get shredded for summer. I mean, might think about maybe doing like a booty building program. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of different things out there that people are looking for, and they just want a little bit of guidance. And so, yeah, we'll So the original platform is built now. It's just a matter of kind of customizing some stuff to kind of fit, different demographics to what people are looking for.
So if people want to sign up for that, where do they go?
The lab.health.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The lab.health. And you can see everything right there. Everything's right there on our website.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to bring up a gentleman now because I was really excited for this friggin' fight. So I was going to mess with his dad because his dad shit talked me on that damn AK Media, whatever it was. Said I don't know shit about boxing or something like that. That's okay. I was looking forward to the Jesse Wilcox fight. That fight's not happening, and I want that fight to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I did too. I really did too. I still do, but at the same time too, like I don't want to fight somebody who doesn't want to fight.
Is that what it came down to?
Pardon me?
Is that what it came down to? He didn't want to fight you?
He didn't really give me a reason. I heard it was school. I heard he was going to school in Hamilton, but I mean, the fight's in Hamilton, and man, like school, like I'm a busy guy. Like school's not really.
It's not a good excuse to me, but is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can read between the lines. He didn't want to fight. I don't blame him.
I'm not going to say that I dislike Jesse in any kind of fashion. I actually think he's a nice guy, and he's a good fighter.
Is a nice guy.
He's a good fighter.
Jesse's a nice guy, man. He's a nice guy. I think that maybe the people around him get him into a little bit of trouble and throw him in a little deeper than what he wants to be in. Jesse, come on, man. Like I saw his little video. He said he's stronger, he's faster, and he's got more heart. I mean, come on. Like stronger? No. Faster? Hell no. More heart? You've never really had to see my heart because people couldn't get past my skill. But when you go off and you say that you have heart, you're stating that your skill isn't enough. You're saying that you take shots.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, my heart, Jesse, you wouldn't even see my heart because you couldn't get past my skill. So that's whatever. It's in the past, new opponent. It is what it is. And, Jesse, like I said, Jesse, outside of the ring, I like the guy. He's a nice guy. He is, we've had a few conversations. I've always got along with him. But just, as far as inside the ring, keep my name out of your mouth if you don't want to fight.
The one thing I do like about the Wilcoxes is their family story. There's so many friggin' boxers in that family. Like, if you get in a bar fight with the Wilcoxes, you're in trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and they're all good fighters. They're really good fighters, And Spencer turning, the youngest one turning pro. I'm excited to see what Spencer does. He's personally, I think that he was the best out of all of them. Personally, that's up for debate, and we'll see what he does. But yeah. They're all good fighters.
I'm gonna shout out Spencer because he likes just about everything I post online. So I'm gonna get his ass on the podcast. He should be fun to talk to, seeing as how he's got a bunch of older brothers that probably whooped his ass for like the last 15 years, and we'll probably get some good stories out of him.
Absolutely, yeah, man. I've never met Spencer. I've met Brad and Steve and Jesse, and of course Bob, the dad. But I've never really met Spencer. But seems like a nice guy, and he seems pretty dedicated. So
I'm gonna hit him up and get him on the show. Now tell me a little bit about Bob. You've met Bob before. Bob chirped me off, and I'm not like butthurt about it, but I really wanted to make a bet.
Yeah, I've always got along with Bob. I've talked to him a handful of times before the Jesse fight, and Bob's always been super pleasant to me and respectful, and vice versa. A little bit of shit talk when I'm supposed to, fight Jesse. So that's part of the game. I expect him to kind of build the fight up a bit and talk some shit. Yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Bob, I'm not the guy to go at when you want to talk shit. That's exactly what I do.
Exactly. You have a platform for it.
Yeah, but hey, Bob, if you want to come on the podcast, we can debate it right here. Just it's an
Dude, yeah,
invitation. I have an ulterior motive for this because I want the fight to happen. So if I got to
me
get
too.
Bob, if I got to get Bob on here to have a healthy debate and put a gentleman's bet down on a Brandon Brewer Jesse Wilcox fight, let's do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But Spencer, if Spencer's listening to the show, if I forget, hit me up in the DMs. I'll get you on the show. I want to talk to you. I bet you got some cool stories. And let's get your brother in the wing with LJack and see what's up.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously, I'm wearing a political hat today. I did the podcast with Chris Sky, and people have hit me up from all over Canada looking for information. So I started posting stuff. And that kind of steamrolled into getting messages of people thanking me, which I appreciate everybody that's hit me up. But don't thank me. I don't create any of those posts. I literally steal them from the internet, from news outlets or whatever, or Rebel News or shit like that. You guys could always go follow them. I don't want any credit for it. But I did notice, Brandon, you started posting some stuff too. And as a military man, you spent some time in the military. We've seen the media kind of twist some stuff with the monument. We've also seen veterans, elderly veterans, show up to the line and try to hold that line against cops with batons, tear gas, and rubber bullets. And quite honestly, take a beating and not be able to do anything back.
Yeah, I mean, it's watching mainstream media is one thing, and that can paint a picture, and everybody can have their own opinion, but I urge people to not only watch mainstream media, but watch all the media outlets.
Yeah.
And and the thing is with me, I had some friends there.
Yeah.
And I had some friends there who actually purposely went so they can get a better understanding. They had a neutral opinion until they went there. And when they went there, they're like, oh, wow, yes, the mainstream is completely painting it the way they want it to. And understandably so. I mean, that's just the way it goes. You look at Fox News and you look at NBC, they paint it the way they need to paint it in order to support their party. It was a little frustrating because, like I said, everybody's got their own opinion, but my thing just came down to, I met enough people where COVID kind of like had affected their lives, a fair lot, a fair bit. And I don't know, man, when it's one thing to have a protest, and protest is completely illegal, right? And when they go to the Capitol, Parliament Hill, and they have, it wasn't about anti-vax. It wasn't about anti-mask. It wasn't about anti-liberal. It wasn't about anti-conservative. It wasn't even anti-government. It was pro-choice. And, the division that the government, and even Trudeau, I mean, fuck Trudeau on your hat. Like the division that, calling a Jewish woman a supporter of the swastikas, and then today you heard another liberal MP stating that Hong Kong was an acronym for Hail Hitler. Like when these are your talking points, like it goes to show that you have no ammo. And so it was a little frustrating that they were dividing people like that. And in theory, like, I mean, my grandfather, our veterans, World War II veterans, like they fought against government that didn't listen to their people, against dictators, and all Trudeau had to do was just meet with the protesters, just talk to them, just set up a meeting and be diplomatic about the whole thing, and just hear them out. And if you didn't want to listen and do anything that they asked for, at least you can say you had the conversation. And I think they went about it all wrong. I think Trudeau showed his true colors. And to be completely honest, I've never been prouder to be a Canadian when I see people unite like that. And it wasn't, the media can paint a Nazi flag, and I mean, it was, this is what you want your country to be.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't paint everybody with the same paintbrush. The whole thing was peace, love, and unity. That's what it was. And we're just standing up for anybody who was seriously, seriously, seriously affected. It wasn't about, you know, anything. It wasn't about anti anything. It was about pro choice. And, so you see all the protests. I mean, because that started a global, it's insane. And I urge people to go in, and France, in Paris, they were protesting, and the cops dropped it, and they started walking with the protesters. It made me feel, proud, not only be a Canadian, just just a human in general, just to know that there still is some unity in this world. So yeah.
So how did it make you feel when we've got 70-year-old veterans that are lining up against police officers, and they're showing up to help their citizens? Where's our military? Where are the cops that quit their jobs? I want to know where these people are.
Well, that's the thing. There's always another cop who's willing to do it because he's told to. What really got me was when they, the police barricaded the war memorial.
Yeah.
And thinking that the protesters were there to do damage. And then when the protesters came up and took the war memorial, the gates down that they had barricaded it with, and the cops came over to stop them, and they said, no, you're not going to stop us because we're war veterans.
Yeah.
And you don't barricade this. These people are not here to destroy this. We're here, peace, love, unity. We're here to respect this, but we're just here to hold the government accountable for, some lies that they have told, and some divisions that they had created. And that was not a pro-conservative. The conservatives jumped on the bandwagon, and a smart thing for them to do. But don't you dare think that we wouldn't do that to you too, conservatives, if you were acting that way too. So it wasn't a pro party or anything like that. It pissed me off when the mainstream media tried to paint the protesters as if they're trying to destroy that war memorial, because that really drove me nuts. It really did, because that's not what it was about.
Yeah.
And when you see veterans, like, I don't know, it just pissed me off.
What some of the stuff that went wrong for that truck convoy was definitely the gentleman King, who did have some white supremacist ties. He wasn't there supporting that cause. He was there supporting a different cause. But when you do show up to things like that, and you do create a name for yourself when you're in that group, that is going to come up. Unfortunately, it did.
Yeah.
But realistically, are we grasping at straws here? There was 1 million people there. There's one guy that has ties to white supremacy. There's one guy flying a swastika flag saying, "This is going to be your flag if we continue down this road." Like, we have bouncy castles.
Like, we're gonna paint it. Nobody's lived the perfect past. Look at our blackface, prime minister, right? So I mean, but you can't paint all politicians that they're, it's just nobody's lived the perfect past. And I get that the mainstream media is going to try to take that dirt and magnify it to the public to get them to support their regime and go against the protesters. That's manipulation, and it's gaslighting is what it is, and
the best thing the general public could have done was logged into YouTube and typed in Freedom Convoy. There was 500,000 live streams you could watch. Now, we're not talking about something that you can doctor on the fly. We're talking about something that's live now, second by second. You could have seen exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
I watched it for days.
I did too, and I'm glad that it ended when it did, because it was driving me insane. And to be honest, it was driving the people around me insane, because I was very caught up in it, and very passionate about it. And it did. You know, it's the intention behind it was all
Yeah.
peace, love, and unity, and compassion for people who were struggling, because there have been people struggling, and we just want everybody to be happy at this point, and just everything to just kind of end and get back to whatever normal is. And yeah,
Unfortunately, Brandon, we're not going to get back to any kind of normal anytime soon because that whole freedom convoy ushered in a state of emergency in Canada, and then that took me down a different rabbit hole into who Justin Trudeau is and where he comes from and who's actually pulling the strings. And I won't get into it on this show because it'll take me forever. I'll do it tomorrow night with Dr. Z. But to watch our country get put into a state of emergency after everything's done and went for a vote in Parliament, and then I watched the damn debates for 2 days. I was up till midnight watching these damn debates, and then I stay up and I watch the vote, and to see the NDP totally turncoat and side
flip
with
flop.
just flip flop and side with the Liberals because you don't want to vote.
Yeah,
Newsflash, guys, you're not going to get the prime minister of none of you are going to be the prime minister of Canada. The NDP will never get. You didn't have a shot before, and you definitely don't have a shot now.
no, no.
Liberals, you don't have a shot now. I'm sorry. There's only one government that'll get in next, and that's conservative.
Hopefully, we have another federal election.
Well, in the fall, we're supposed to have one. But it all depends on what happens between now and then, and that is a hell of a lot of time. But we still have a Senate vote to come down for this thing, so hopefully the Senate smartens up and gets this thing out of here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't think we need the emergency act right now. I mean, everything. If we didn't need it during the pipeline protests, we certainly don't need it now.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, there was some hairy stuff that went on there, eh? People with axes and Molotov cocktails.
$270 million worth of damage.
Well, a friend of mine posted a protest in Kazakhstan, and
Uh,
there was a brawl, like a legitimate street brawl with people
they
getting hammered,
they pounded the cops.
pounded them. Now here's a question for the police that were at the front line. There was only so many of you there. What happens if it pops off?
I I I don't think I think it was pretty obvious that it wasn't going to. These people, I mean, there was kids there was bouncy castles, there was just love and peace and people. I think when you see the police and the law enforcement wearing earmuffs
Yeah,
so they can't be broken,
yeah.
because it's hard not to be a Canadian and want to join the protesters like Paris did.
I would absolutely love to see a video of one of those cops just changing sides.
Yeah,
Because that would change so many minds. It wouldn't even be funny if one cop put down his baton and turned around and was with the protesters.
I don't know how true it is. A friend of mine said there was two that did, and they arrested them. But I don't know. Yeah.
I'd love to get a video of it because if I can find it, I will blast that out like it's no tomorrow. That would be on my story from now until the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just happy, and even the lady who got injured by the horse. I'm glad nobody died. Nobody was like Kazakhstan.
That's what I was most worried about was somebody dying. Because if somebody dies there, then all the nut jobs show up.
Yeah, and that's the last thing that that's what then that's when martial law really comes into play, and that's not good for anybody. It defeats the purpose of what the protest is about, and so they made their point, and it ended the best way it could have, I think.
I think so. I'm just glad that there wasn't 500 or 1,000 you and me there.
I wasn't meant for that.
No, I'm too emotional for something like that. If you hit me with a stick, it's on.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We'll end that conversation. But I really wanted to get your opinion on the goings on, being a military man, and just seeing some of those images of those veterans that showed up to do work for the citizens. I thought it was amazing. So thank you to all of them.
Absolutely.
What's the date of the fight, Brandon? Let's get back to fights.
March 19th.
March
March
19th.
19th at the Hamilton Convention Center.
4A title, main event, Ryan Rizicki co-main. You don't want to miss it. I'm guessing we can watch it somewhere, though. There's got to be a live stream. And if Dan screwed me on a live stream, I'm going to be mad.
Nah, Dan's good. The Three Line Boys, they're top notch, and there certainly will be a live stream. I think I'm not sure the price on it. They're going to put a price on it, $29.99 or something like that. But definitely worth it, 100% worth it. I mean, worth $100 really. We have not seen a whole lot of Canadian boxing, and you're seeing some of the best guys in the country, some of the most exciting guys. You got Jake Doust, you got Ryan Rizicki, you got Brandon Brewer, you got Carolyn. I can never remember Carolyn Redmond. Sorry, Carolyn Redmond, and I can't remember. There's another guy, but I can't remember the full lineup. So, but I mean those names right there are worth the purchase for sure.
So the one thing I will hammer Dan about, and that's his commentating. There's nobody in Canada that knows any of these guys better than me.
There you go.
Why,
I believe it.
Why have I not been called to commentate these fights?
You should be.
Nobody knows Ryan Rizicki better than me. I've gone down a rabbit hole with that guy because I'm trying to figure out his damn power. I think I've got it figured out, but I've literally watched 6 of his fights in slow motion.
Yeah.
I've watched everything I can find on you.
There's not much. I keep it hidden.
There is not much, but it is findable. I've watched everything on Jake Doust. Actually, his name is Jake Dau. I apologize. He has been on this show, and I just fucked his name up like an amateur.
I think I did.
But I've watched everything I could find on him. I've even watched sparring footage of him with Josh Wagner.
It'd be good. That'd be good to watch.
Yeah, they go at it, man. They're both fantastic boxers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So hey, Dan Otter, call and we'll do some work because there's nobody that knows any of these Canadian guys better than I do.
You got my vote.
Dan, come on, man. Stop fucking me around. There was an entertaining fight on the weekend. It was a bare knuckle fight. I don't know how much bare knuckle you watch.
I didn't see it, but the girls?
No, the dudes.
Okay, well, I didn't see them. I've been meaning to go back and watch though, because there's a girl fight that I wanted to see because there's a girl that I follow and she got banged up pretty good, and I want to go check them out.
So I've always had an issue with bare knuckle boxing. I don't know why, but I don't like it. But I like it where there's guys or girls that I know that are fighting.
Yeah.
It's the style of it is so foreign to me. It reminds me of a street fight, but with some skill. What I don't like is when we get MMA guys and boxing guys that go over and compete in bare knuckle and don't take the proper amount of time to acclimate to the style because it's a very different style. If you watch a Jimmy Sweeney who's been bare knuckle boxing since he was a toddler, and you watch Julian Lane, they're two very, very, very different styles. Jimmy Sweeney, he's fantastic at bare knuckle boxing. He's smooth to watch. It's entertaining. When I watch the MMA guys and the boxers, it turns into a brawl.
Yeah. There's an art to it.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Where the skill kind of goes out the window and the will comes in. I'm going to beat you. I don't care how I'm going to do it. I'm going to break my hand on your face.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched.
It, it's getting bigger.
It's getting big, man, and I gotta jump on the bandwagon. But I gotta say to these guys that are switching sports, take the proper time to acclimate to it, because all that's gonna happen is you're gonna turn your hands into jello. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have 5 fights and you're not gonna be able to make a fist anymore. I watched Platinum Mike Perry and Julian Lane. Enter- Entertaining fight, I'll give him that. But
Yeah.
the skill that was involved, in my opinion, and no disrespect to either man, because they're both very tough and very skilled in their sport. It wasn't like watching Jimmy Sweeney or Bobby Gunn.
Mm, yeah. I think a lot of guys are trying to, they do it on their way out, kind
Yeah.
of, and as a last money grab. And at that point, oh,
Oh, that's a good picture, though. I like it.
yeah. What pitch you come up?
It was you in the L Jack shirt, man. The
Oh,
lumberjack
that's
shirt.
good. Okay, yeah. How much battery I got? Be all right. Yeah, I think they do it as like, one last maybe money grab before they get done. And I mean, if that's the case, then clearly it's kind of saying that the passion isn't there. Maybe I don't know. And if the passion isn't there, then you're not gonna take that desire to train and learn properly. But I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just based off kind of what I see.
Now, there's an old Western called Gunsmoke, and where they used to bury the dead was up on Boot Hill. And BKB reminds me of Boot Hill for guys that are on their way out. They go in, they get a couple wins, and then they end up getting buried up on Boot Hill, and that's the end of it. I wish it was different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bigger it gets, and I mean, if the pay is there, then guys might be doing it in as a career. Instead, I know I can't remember his name. Chris, he's a bare knuckle guy. He fought for the world title. Bare knuckle, Chris. Oh, jumping! How bad is that? He's a good buddy of mine from down in Maine. I'll send you his profile. He drew a really cool picture for me like years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, Chris. Oh, Jumpins. How bad is that? I can't remember his last name, but he's a monster.
Okay.
He is a monster.
He's good at it.
Off,
he's good.
What's
though.
that?
He's skilled in the art, though.
He is. Yeah, he started as a boxer. Had a couple. Had I don't know, maybe 10 amateur boxing fights. Went over to MMA. And had a real bad accident, I believe. I know his best friend passed away.
Okay.
And he turned to alcohol and drugs, and then kind of just like that, he flipped out, got sober, and jumped right into bare knuckle boxing. And he's a monster.
I gotta check him out. I gotta see some fights. So send me his name.
I will. Yeah, absolutely, I will.
There's another Canadian fella named Don Watch. You know who Don is? Don's
Yeah,
old school,
Don, yeah.
old school MMA guy. I really like Don. He's funny. But
Yeah.
he won a bare knuckle boxing title too.
Yeah. Originally Thai, was it? Thai fighter was he originally?
I think so. I want to say so, but I remember.
But then MMA, and he's fought everything. Yeah.
Dude, I remember back in the day that guy looked like a murderer. He was in such good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beast.
Shout out to Don Watch. I like that guy. I got to talk to him one day.
You got a charger?
Are you gonna die here pretty soon?
10%. I can't really tell with it. That's okay.
We got about 5-10 minutes left anyway before we gotta wrap this thing up.
Hey, no. She's gonna get me a charger. We're all good.
Who was I talking about? Don Watch. Yeah, that guy. I get a kick out of him, man. He's a badass.
Yeah, I saw him fight in Moncton. Who did he fight? I think he fought. Oh fuck! I can't even remember. Bruno Lorette.
Okay.
I think he fought Bruno Lorette. Yeah.
So
yeah.
For the folks that would like to see what I'm talking about with the skill level in BKB, go pick any Jimmy Sweeney fight because that guy's he's a murderer in BKB, and then go watch Paulie Malignaggi versus Artem Lobov.
Yeah, I felt bad. Poor old Polly with the brittle hands, like not what he was supposed to be doing. Of all people, he's not the guy to be
No.
representing boxing over in BKB.
Well, he tried to have a boxing match with an MMA brawler.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was that was right up Artem Lobov's alley, and this is what I'm talking about though. Like that Artem Lobov went off and fought an actual bare knuckle boxer. A very different story.
yeah, yeah.
Got beat up, right? So there's skills to it. Then there's this other the other thing they got. Go Triller's got this other thing going on. It's called Triad.
I saw it. Yeah, yeah. Which is, I wasn't. I mean, it could be something. I don't know. I don't know. If done right, and you got the right guys, it could be exciting.
Yeah.
You know, any kind of fighting is exciting. But I mean, they just. I mean, who was it? Frank Mir. Oh, what are you doing? Like, get out of there. It's same thing when they had Evander Holyfield back in there. Like, you can't be pulling these guys off the couch like that, and it just doesn't. It doesn't do them any justice, and it doesn't give the sport any credibility.
Well, shit. Frank Mir's a black belt in BJJ. That's how he won the UFC world title. And he goes into Triad with 4-ounce gloves on to box a former world champion.
Yeah. Who was like really good not very long ago.
Yeah. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little confused.
Okay. You got to tell me right now, do you have your nails painted?
My niece actually did those.
Okay.
Just those two. Yeah.
My daughter, when she was younger, she used to do that crap to me all the time. So I respect it.
Yeah, little Blakely, she got me.
So, my son needed a haircut yesterday. It's a funny story. So I gave him a mullet.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Who did my wife was not happy about that.
Really?
No,
What?
She's from.
Does he like it?
Oh, he thinks it's the greatest thing on the planet right now because he's just starting to talk. Right, he's 2 years old, so he's running around the house, mullet, mullet, mullet. And
every young man needs a mullet.
I never had one, so I have to live vicariously through. No, so my wife, she's from Saskatchewan, so that was like a prerequisite for being 7 years old. You have to have a mullet. So it's like
My sister had a mullet.
Yeah, my wife had a mullet, and this is bringing up
she did.
Yeah, bad flashbacks for her, right? So, so I want that thing to grow in so long, just like Kim Mitchell.
Yeah, I had steps.
Oh,
steps in my.
Billy Ray Cyrus kind of steps.
Yeah, well, AC/DC came here to the west or to the East Coast here, probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, and I had a mullet then too, in my early 20s. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm losing my hair's almost gone, so I can't grow one. All mine migrated to my face.
You got a nice beard though.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm getting this white patch here now. I'm 40 years old this year, so it's probably about time. But I enjoy the white patch. I don't know why I like it so much, but I like it.
Looks good on you.
I can't wait until my beard is all white. I want to be that 60-year-old dude just roided to the gills, huge with a white beard.
Yeah, I can see that. Look, it would look good.
Like, there's a gentleman that you see pop up on Instagram every once in a while. He's probably every bit of 58, and he is jacked. And just you've probably seen him. He's got the white beard. He looks sick, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he looks like a badass.
That's who I want to be when I grow up.
I can see it.
So hopefully I can pull that off one day. When we see you roll up to the weigh-ins, Brandon, or a press conference, are we going to see you in a suit?
I don't know. No, probably shouldn't I?
I feel like you got a few kicking around.
I have a couple custom suits. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, See, when
Shout out to Robert Simmons downtown.
when I show up to a boxing event, in Edmonton, some of the people there used to call me the Don Cherry of boxing because I'd always roll in with a plaid sports jacket on.
Yeah, I don't have a plaid one. It's a three-piece suit, and the vest is plaid, and inside of the jacket is plaid, and it says L-Jack. But I don't have a plaid suit. No, I don't.
No, I think that's perfect.
What I got, or a plaid suit, full plaid?
I think too much is too much, but a little is just enough.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I do. I really like it.
Now, if we can
I
get
got two.
Two of them?
I got two of them. I got a gray one and a blue one, navy blue one. Yeah.
I feel like we need to get you a suit sponsor though, because I think this goes hand in hand with who you are as a person.
I clean, classy, professional, but rugged at the same time.
Exactly. And then you get in there and you beat the shit out of people with a kilt on.
And with a kilt, that's right. It works. It works.
Well, it's got to be getting late there. We're at an hour, man, so we can wrap this thing up. Who do you want to thank for? You got sponsors? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Andy Fox, the Waterfront Pub, has been a sponsor of mine for many years, and I mean, I've known Andy personally growing up, and he sponsored me through multiple companies. And he's just a good guy. He owns the pub back home, and he's always supporting me through business, through friendship as well, and just a good guy. Yeah, so big shout out to him.
I'll thank my sponsors real quick, guys. Omega Performance. If you want the supplements, go there. They're the greatest. USG Canada. We talked about him earlier tonight. How he makes hands down the best walkout gear in the game. Hit him up. It's Howie at usgcanada.com. We've also got Rampage Coffee, local Saskatchewan brewed beans. You can order that stuff online. Use the promo code Final Shot. Hey guys, I can't list. I'm gonna forget all the promo codes. They're in the link tree. Go to the link tree, hit the link you want, make a purchase. We've got On It. Who else we got? TKO Beards. I'm forgetting somebody. Sovereign Extracts. Check them out. If you like to get high, Sovereign Extracts is the place to go. If you also like just the pure CBD just for the health benefits of it, Sovereign Extracts is the place to go. You can get it in a tincture or the vaporizer tips, and I believe they're coming out with a topical cream, which I've been using a topical cream on my knee for years. It works great. Parting words, Brandon. Any parting words for your fans?
Just March 19th. I really appreciate it. It's been a tough go as far as getting fights. I speak for many fighters, many fans, but Canadian boxing, March 19th. We're back, Hamilton Convention Center. Three Lions Promotions. I am bringing that WBC title back to New Brunswick, back to the Maritimes, and I'm really looking forward to it. So,
Brandon, I'm grateful for the time you gave me tonight, so thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, think for yourselves. Don't let other people think for you, because they won't think of you. That's the Final Shot.